All right, welcome inside the podcast on a Thursday. Boomer has departed. Al is not here. We've got Rami. Good morning, Rami. How are you?
Good morning. How we doing?
I'm all right. I got two things for you today. One, I put on the sheet just as filler's not the right word. If we had time,
Yeah.
I was going to get to it. And then the other one is a little more personal to me. So I'll start with the sports-related topic, and that would be watching a lot of that stupid replay with the home run last night. Just looking at Camden Yards, which I was at about a month ago. I've been there probably 9 or 10 times. I know you lived in Baltimore. Yep. It made me think of, in 2026, I don't know how many you've been to or you haven't, favorite ballparks that you've been to and have been, that you've loved, they're your favorites, and others you've gone to and you've been disappointed.
So Camden Yards, I grew up going to. So that's part of it also, because I spent my summers down in Maryland at my grandparents. And I grew up going with my grandfather and my father, and we, like, for years.
You went to a lot of games at Camden
Yards.
Of
Oriole, probably more than any other ballpark by far. Yankee Stadium is probably a close second as a Yankee fan and living here, obviously. But Camden Yards, I've been to more than any other ballpark. And if you include the year that I worked for the Orioles, we did pregame outside, or the radio network. We did pregame at Pickles Pub across the street. And then most times I would walk across the street and go into the game afterwards for the game. So I was there almost every night for an entire summer on weekdays. And it was the best experience. And especially like the Fridays at the bar at Pickles, Friday afternoon, when there was a big game, especially like the Yankees were in town for the weekend or the Red Sox were in town for the weekend.
You could feel a buzz.
Yes, there was such a buzz. People would come out early. We would do the afternoon show sometimes from there. Like it was awesome.
Like leading into the pregame?
Pregame, yeah. So it was a great time. And I remember specifically the weekend they called up Adley Rutschman, which is funny now. They traded him. It felt like there was a shift in the Oriole fan mindset where it's like, hey, we went through this rebuild, but now we're on the right path. We're getting going. And it's crazy that within a couple of years they traded him, and now they're in a playoff spot, which is ridiculous. But yeah. So that's definitely, it's probably one of my favorites. I just went to Wrigley for the first time.
Okay.
So that was an interesting.
What did you think? And I've not been to Wrigley.
I loved it.
Okay.
So it feels like, first of all,
is it like Fenway where you walk in, you feel like it's 1925?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You walk in and you're like, all of a sudden it's olden days. The first three levels are just stairs straight up. It's not a second deck. There's just one second deck. Only in the back, like only behind home plate and in foul territory. Everything else is just
it like fans out.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's tiny. I walked in, I said, I felt like I was on a movie set. I'm like, why are they playing a Major League Baseball game here? That's what it must feel like when they went to Iowa, to the game in Iowa. Sure. That's what it feels like, because it's that like small, and it's just so cool. It was like the coolest experience. And I had a crazy day, because I had an issue with basically my flight was the reason I ended up there in the first place was because I was flying to Michigan, and my flight got delayed by like 8 hours. And
you're kidding.
Yeah, it was like 3 hours in the airport and then another couple hours on the plane. It was ridiculous. And then I ended up sleeping 1 hour and renting a car and getting to Chicago. And I was like, I don't care. I'm going to this game. There's a day game here.
That's really cool.
And then I drove to Michigan afterwards, which is like 4 hours away.
Right.
And it was totally worth it, because Wrigley was awesome.
Have you been to Fenway?
Yes, I was there. The last time I was there actually for a game was the Tyler Austin fight against Joe Kelly in 2018, when that's like the last real Yankee Red Sox brawl where they were actually throwing punches, and it was crazy. And that another thing that's different in both of those ballparks, Wrigley and Fenway Park, other than them being tiny and feeling like you're on a movie set, you feel like you just traveled back in time.
100%.
What it feels like,
no doubt.
And everyone's right on top of each other. It's all so tight. The crowds are incredible. Yankee Stadium, I understand why you have to do it. There's kids in the crowd and stuff like that, but the censoring of the crowds, like if you like swear or start saying things to the players, they throw you out immediately. They have no tolerance for, negative chants or anything. These places, when I walked into Dunkin' outside of Fenway wearing a Yankee hat for a Yankee Red Sox game, the person working at Dunkin' was like, skip him. He's a Yankee fan. You go first, to the people in line behind me, because and that's how it is. They are so into it. And the fans, I was there again, a Thursday day game in Chicago. It was a makeup game. So it wasn't like it was supposed to happen, against Toronto, not a division rival.
Right.
And the crowd is so into it the entire time. That was a game where they were down 2-0 till the last pitch. They were down with 2 outs and 2 strikes, and Bregman hits a game-tying 2-run homer. The crowd, no one left.
Right.
The place was still
it's like
packed.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, no one leaves. And
The
that
fans
atmosphere
were
is incredible.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
that's Boston, too. The fans in Boston are awesome. I've been to Philly. I loved it there.
Philly's
also.
great.
Philly's great. Disappointed ones I'll give you because
City Field you've been to.
yes, I love City. I think the
amazing.
game atmosphere at City Field, as far as like the presentation, the
They
last
do a
few
great job.
years since,
I agree.
I agree. It's so much better than Yankee Stadium. It's not even close.
I know. Yankee Stadium I've always looked at as just a gorgeous Roman Colosseum, giant structure, and it's really nice. But there's something about the ballparks like Philly and City Field that's more quaint and cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love going to those stadiums.
Yeah, the one that is disappointing, because I remember when they opened it, because I used to, grew up going to RFK Stadium when they first opened.
You don't like Washington, huh?
I don't like the new Washington
Stadium.
I don't love it. Personality. There's nothing to it.
Fair.
I was there for a playoff game the year they won the World Series and still felt like nothing. Yeah.
What I did like, and maybe this isn't so much the stadium, I did enjoy, because I just went there this summer, I did enjoy the second time, the atmosphere outside of the stadium.
It depends if you're coming in from left field.
So I was coming in from that left field, center field area where all the bars and restaurants are.
And they have
that was cool.
Right.
That was really neat. And it was a Nationals Phillies game. And there were a lot of Philly fans. And there was and the Nationals aren't great, but they weren't terrible this year. And there was a really cool vibe to it. I guess the stadium is kind of sterile to some degree, but I did enjoy the atmosphere of that. But I could see what you're saying. All right, so that's disappointing. What else?
So I guess I would have to say Yankee Stadium is somewhat disappointing. Okay. I thought Arizona's really cool.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Was the roof open?
I think so. It must have been.
See, that changed. Was it a night game?
It was May. It was it was a night game in May against the Dodgers.
The one time we went to Arizona was...
So it wasn't like 115 degrees is my point.
It was when I went. We went early June, and it was like, 105 outside. It wasn't horrible. Right. Whatever, it was 105. Day game with a bunch of old people.
Oh, God.
And you want to talk about... It was... the second worst atmosphere to a baseball game I've ever been to. The other one was Tampa.
Well, also I was there for
terrible.
I was there for Arizona against the Dodgers, and I would say it was like 70% Dodger fans.
And probably full. Right. So we went and saw Diamondbacks. I want to say Diamondbacks Padres like 10 years ago. Day game with nothing but retirees.
Ugh.
And it was hideous.
Have you been to San Diego?
Yes.
Because that I've been right outside, but never inside. It looks incredible.
It is.
Same thing with what do they call it in San Francisco? Looks awesome.
T-Mobile Park, I think now.
No, T-Mobile's in Seattle.
Yeah, isn't that what you just asked me?
San Francisco.
Oh, San Francisco is
AT&T or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're doing the All-Star game
Park
there.
Maybe now. Is it Oracle?
Yes.
I've been there too.
They're doing the All-Star game, I think, next year there or the year after.
The problem with San Francisco is when you have children, don't bring young kids there.
Why?
They end up in the Coca-Cola bottle, which is a kid's slide.
Oh.
So I took my son. So we went to a Friday night game. I have family out there. So it was like there were 10 of us.
Yeah.
And my little guy, he had just started playing baseball, he was like 6. And he likes it, but hey, we'll get a soda. Sure. We take a walk. I'm like, I'd like to see it anyway and walk around. And we get to the Coca-Cola bottle, which I had no idea it was a slide.
I didn't know either.
Hey, Daddy, you go on the slide? Yeah, sure, go. Can I go again? Yeah, okay. Again?
You want to watch the baseball game.
Meantime, my wife's texting me, are you coming back? I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
I'm just sitting here. I'm trying to watch from above left field because he's having a blast on the slide. Very cool, though, with McCovey Cove and good food and drink choices. That place is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never been to like Dodger Stadium. Looks awesome.
So that's actually my favorite.
Really? Because it looks so cool.
So I've been to Citi Field, Yankee Stadium, Philly. I've been to Baltimore, Washington, Miami, Tampa,
Boston,
Texas, Houston, Boston. Yep. I've been to San Diego, San Francisco, LA, Arizona.
So what is that? 19?
It's a lot. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I haven't, I've missed at least 10, but I've probably been to almost 20 of them. And out of all of them, and maybe it's because seeing it on TV, never being there, maybe it's the palm trees and the beautiful blue sky. And maybe it's like when someone from out west comes to Yankee Stadium for the first time. When I walked in there, I don't know. My breath, this sounds so corny, but like my breath was taken away.
But
like,
that's how I felt.
It was amazing.
the feeling when you're a little kid, the first time you see a
Oh, yeah,
stadium, and
absolutely.
it feels like so cool, and
Yep.
like the grass is so green, and you just walk out from the tunnel. That's how I felt at Wrigley Field
I
2
believe
weeks
it.
ago.
I believe it.
So like I it's corny, call it what you want. I don't care. Like
It was great.
there are so few things in life that can make you feel like a little kid.
Yep.
And that having that feeling at Wrigley Field was awesome. And so you say that about Dodger Stadium, like I believe it. Like I
Yeah.
would love to go see that. Like that's as a kid, one of my dreams was to do 30 ballparks in one summer, just to
That would be
travel and
cool.
see all 30 in
Yeah.
a summer. And now I've knocked a bunch off the list, but there are still so many. Like I've been to Detroit a bunch of times. Like there's a bunch that I've been to.
See, those are the ones I'm going to have trouble getting to.
The middle of the country,
Because if you've noticed what I've outlined,
the coasts.
there's water.
Yes.
And my wife, there's a beach, and there's usually nice resorts. And I'm not saying there's not nice resorts in
Cleveland. There aren't.
No, but so Cleveland's interesting because she would like to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So that one I
That
can
one you can get
sell.
to.
I don't know that I can sell Detroit.
But Pittsburgh's supposed to be beautiful
So
also.
we've been there. We just didn't go to a game. So like we saw it, but it doesn't count.
Great. Yeah, I've driven past
That
it
one
also.
looks amazing. I agree.
I've never, but I've driven past it going to family.
How much money do you think you'd need to do 30 ballparks in, let's say, 90 days?
Get a sponsor. I don't know.
No, seriously. Like if you had to fund it, like that was you were going to take the summer off. And obviously you're not going to stay at the Four Seasons in every city. Let's just assume you stayed at a Marriott, a Holiday Inn, a normal hotel.
I'm taking my car.
Not a dump, but not a, I would.
Driving or flying, because you could do it driving across the country.
You can. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But also flying is a pain in the ass. Let's say it's a driving trip.
Okay.
And you start in Boston, and let's say you finish at Yankee Stadium.
Right.
Somehow, some way, you end up in Boston, Minnesota.
You have to
however
go to Toronto. Also, you have to leave the country.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
How much do you think that costs? Ticket wise, you're going to be good for you. You can get tickets. Let's just say 30 bucks. Let's see, 30 times 30 ballparks times. Let's just say $50 is a nice round number.
Perfect.
$1,500 on tickets.
Yeah.
Your hotel stays. You're going to have 30 nights in hotels.
At least if it's 90 days, because you're not doing it one day after the other.
So you're at $6,000 at least.
I would say
in hotel fees.
Yeah, I was going to say $10,000 for the trip.
$7,500. That sounds doable to me. You got to get the time off from work, which is the hardest part. No one's going to give you 90 days off. Yeah. You'd have to take time, leave without pay, basically, which I'm sure you could probably do at some point. Yeah, food and gas. I don't know, 10,000.
You think you need more?
Well, we're at 7,500 already.
Right, without
you haven't eaten
gas. Yeah, that's true.
You haven't bought a souvenir.
Yeah, right.
You haven't bought a beer.
Yeah, right.
Gas.
In the ballpark, all the stuff you're going to buy at the ballpark. Yeah, you're right.
If you
because add another 50 at least to every ballpark visit just from buying stuff at the stadium.
Right. So there's another 1,500, and you got to assume at least.
Like Wrigley's cool. They give you a pin and a certificate for your first game, so that's free.
Okay,
that
that's
comes
neat.
with the ticket. So
that's
like that's
cool.
a built-in souvenir. But I still went into the shop. I'm like, I'm buying a Wrigley Field hoodie.
Right.
Like that just like
because it means something to you.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yes.
Because it meant so much. I bought it.
I don't
on the
know
way
you're
out.
doing it for 10 grand.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm going to put the number at like 12.
Yeah.
And that's even eating on a budget.
Oh, for sure. You're eating ramen and snacks and
well, I wouldn't even go that crazy. I would say like breakfast is a cup of coffee and like a bagel. Done.
The hotels that have the breakfast included, you work on that.
100%.
Like, stuff like that.
And then in that case, you go get a sub for $8 for lunch, and then you're paying for dinner. So I'm going to put that number at about 12 grand. I think it's a fun summer.
It's a great summer. And
it's
I
good.
think there was someone, and I probably saw it, like MLB was advertising someone who did 30 parks in 30 days on social.
That
and
takes some planning.
But yes, it takes a lot of planning, but you're knocking out the 2 Chicagos in one day, the 2 New Yorks in one day.
Right, but the planning to make sure that they have games and they're home at the same time.
Right, exactly. So then, and the first one doesn't go into extra innings.
That too.
You know what I mean?
That too, yeah.
So, but yes, the planning is crazy for that because one rain out throws off the entire thing.
Yeah. I know I wanted to do it with my kids, which will never happen until I retire. I'm lucky enough to be capable of doing it. I'd like to do 50 golf courses in 50 days, one per state. My wife thinks I'm crazy.
No,
I'm like,
awesome.
I think that would be so much fun.
Again, you run into, you
Why
really
not?
want to golf, and I hate to Cleveland.
Yeah. Ohio's
go.
you can't Ohio. Well, remember Jack Nicklaus is from Ohio.
Right. So
they got, there's beautiful golf courses everywhere.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, you can go.
I mean, Michigan, people know Detroit. I just drove through Michigan.
Michigan's really nice.
Upstate Michigan.
Michigan
is insane.
Really nice.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
There's gorgeous ballparks.
Last thing, I only got a couple minutes. I do have to run again. So my wife has had a physical issue, and we've had a couple of hospital visits. She's fine, but it's been a rough week. You cannot get an appointment for a specialist within 2 weeks.
I believe
what. So this is what I always hear from people that live in Canada on social media. They say when government runs, healthcare, good luck because you can't get an appointment anywhere. I am not going to sit here and say we don't have it better. We do. 100% things are much better here. But how is it possible that you've got a significant injury issue and we can't get in to see a doctor for 2 weeks and we've called 6 doctors? What the hell?
But what I'll say is the same thing. It's not government run, but now all the insurance companies are in cahoots with each other and they keep charging more. So the doctors can keep charging more because they're just pulling from the insurance companies.
I may be seeing less people.
So how's it any different than, right? And now it's the summer. So doctors, I'm sure, are taking off because, again, I know my father's schedule is much lighter in the summer than it is the rest of the year. And he doesn't deal with emergencies really. So, it's a different type of thing. So maybe doctors who do deal with emergencies, I don't know, man. Take that into account. But yeah, but again, I'm also someone who lived in a country for years with, government healthcare.
In Israel, universal.
Yeah,
how was that? Do you remember? How old were you?
I remember. I was middle school and high school, so I remember it. Yeah, but it's tough because doctors are the doctors who it's not great. You know what I mean?
That's why everybody comes here,
right? There are a lot of people who, when they need special surgeries or whatever, they're going to Europe, they're coming here, they're leaving the country. And it's not because the doctors there aren't good doctors. It's just because it's almost like the public school system. You're assigned to a certain, based on where you live, you're assigned to a certain doctor or it's
that's interesting.
Yeah. I think you can probably pay to get in to see a specialist, but then you're paying completely out of pocket at that point. So
if I lived on block A, I would have this group of doctors to see.
You had to, the way it worked was based on whatever, there were different groups, and based on whatever group you were part of, you had the doctors that were included in that group, and that's it. So yes, I could go to.
Well, that's like in-network, out-of-network.
Kind of, but
similar.
It's different because they have there's just a few competing groups that you were So I would go to the doctor at a certain, they had 2 offices. They were equal distance for me. And one was a nicer office that they opened up, but I was part of that group. So I went to that office. So it's just it's weird. I know, again, I've had family members who have had situations that medical complications occurred because they weren't taken care of properly there. And had they been here, and I'm talking about serious things that that's really sad. Had they been here, wouldn't have happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just and I know someone else, again, it was a burn victim, and they had to medvac them and fly them here because they just didn't have the care for it.
Damn.
So, and again, they have great schools and great doctors. So it's weird that it doesn't translate to the actual system, but I think part of that is it's government funded. So you kind of you cut corners, you do I know. That's just how it is. You're going to
maximizing profits.
Right. That's the whole point of it. So that's anytime there's a monopoly on anything, it becomes an issue.
It's an issue. I got to run. You get the final word. We'll be back tomorrow. CeeLo will do the the warm-up show, and then we'll have a normal program with someone.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'll be here. You'll be here.
And CeeLo will be here.
And Fleegs should be here.
We think.
Yeah, he was having some stomach issues today.
For God's sakes.
Yeah.
No, you're the one next to him.
Yeah,
all right, you got the final word. I got to go.
All right, see ya.